Love Your Life. Love Your Life. Love Your Life, a show like no other, one that aims to inspire you to live a life you love. Choosing to be positive and having a grateful attitude is going to determine how you're going to live your life.
Love yourself.
Love yourself.
Love your day.
Love your day.
Love your life.
Love your life.
Love your life.
Love Your Life, prepared and presented by Sayyida Mayya Al Said.
Love your life.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to Love Your Life on your nation station Oman FM. This is your host Mayya Al Said, also known as the Sewist on social media. Today we will be discussing how to deal with negativity. But before I get into that, I just wanted to remind you that this is a live show from 2:30 to 3:30, and you are more than welcome to call me by dialing the following number: 24 60 20 58, 24 60 20 58, and we have sound engineer Sayyida Al Habsi, who will gladly transfer the calls. Just a reminder, as always, to please only call when it is safe to do so. I do not want you risking your life or the life of others around you. So if you have been listening to the show ever since it began at the beginning of Ramadan, you would remember the second episode I discussed how to live a positive life. Now, I said that because it's so important for us to be positive, meaning that we need to see the positive in every negative. But let's be honest, we are surrounded by negativity, negative people, negative thoughts. And remaining positive in such situations can be very difficult, as I said, because it's surrounded everywhere. However, hopefully by the end of the episode, we will talk about how to deal with negative people, what you can do about them, and how to deal with the negative thoughts. And choosing the way you live your life in a positive way always involves the mind, because as you know, you have the choice. And when you change your thoughts, you change your life, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. And it is your choice because guess what? You always have a choice. And I hope if you take nothing away from this show, all you remember is that you as an individual have a choice on how to lead your life, then that's more than enough for me. All right, so negative people. Who are they? And how do they think? I think it's important for us to understand what is a negative person. So let me just go through what I have prepared for you. So negative people are afraid of change. You know, if they're going through something and they says, oh, this is really bad. And then you suggest, okay, how about we do something else? And they're like, no. If we do that, it'll get even worse. So even they're not willing to try. They're just so afraid of changing because they always think it's going to be worse than what it already is. So as opposed to somebody who is positive and who welcomes change and is open to trying something new. So you see how the different minds work. And as I go through this, I'll give you a negative example, or not a negative example, an example of how a negative person thinks as opposed to how a positive person would think. Negative people aren't grateful because they always tend to focus on the negative. Always. Something happens to them and that's it. That's what we're going to talk about. That's how I'm going to feel for the rest of the day. I am really upset by this fact. And it just goes on and on and on. They can't seem to think of anything else. And especially not the positive side, because they're so focused on the negative, as opposed to somebody who's positive, recognizes the blessings that they're living or that they're surrounded by them, and that they're grateful for the life that they have. Just a reminder that this is a live show and you're more than welcome to join me on your nation station. I'm here until 3:30 and you can call me on 24 60 20 58, 24 60 20 58. The topic for today is dealing with negativity. Also, may I remind you that this show is being repeated at midnight, 10 past midnight on Oman FM. So continue on with the traits of negative people. That negative people don't care about others. I don't know if probably you've come across negative people, and they tend to just say things that can be very hurtful. The thing is that they don't really care about your feelings. They just care about what they have to say, and they want you to know how they feel. As opposed to somebody who's positive. It's going to happen, this mix-up of negative and positive. So now we're talking the difference between the negative person and a positive person. So a positive person, compared to the negative, has empathy and knows that their words can really be hurtful. So they'll be very considerate when sharing their thoughts or ideas on a particular topic. A negative person blames others for their mistakes. They rarely admit that it's their fault, or it's something they've done. They're more than happy to blame somebody else. And we have a caller. Assalamu alaikum.
Hello.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
How are you, brother?
I was fine.
Alhamdulillah.
Very fine.
Alhamdulillah. Tell me your name, please.
Abdulaziz Ali Saad.
Nice to have you on air, Abdulaziz. So tell me, what are your thoughts? Have you been listening in?
Yes, I was listening actually.
Okay.
And I believe that negative people, it's almost they are fire with their environment.
Fire with their environment.
Yeah, when you live in a place or with the people who are totally negative, always thinking about negative things,
yes,
automatically you will adopt their thinking, the way of how they live, how they thought, how they think. But in the meantime, it's at the end it will come back to the person himself, how he'd like to be.
Exactly.
Because it's the easy job in the world is how to list down the negative in anything.
True. And it's harder to be positive.
As a human being, we have been, I don't know if it is true or not, that we can see the negative easily.
Maybe because we are so surrounded by so much negativity that the first thing we think of in any situation is the negative thing. And even if we think of the positive, it's for a short time, then we go back to thinking negative.
And I have been many times in a situation where it's only a moment or 2 or 3 seconds where the negative person can be positive as well. So I believe that whoever is having negative thinking or negative thoughts, it's a matter of the one who is listening to him, how he can make him positive. Because it's easy to say, oh, khalas, he's negative. I cannot do anything with him. But if we just have a little of quiet minutes, if we can say, and understand why he is negative actually. Is it because that he don't like, or he don't want, he don't believe, or he is not having interest on the subject or on the job he's doing or whatever he's negative on?
Yes.
So it always depends on us. If we believe that he is having this negativity because of a reason, then we have to find the reason and go and change it. That's all.
That's very true. And as being positive people, we have to try and maybe explain the situation, give another view to what they're thinking. However, I think to say that we have to help them change, I think change is something that is a personal choice. You will decide to change if you want, and I can't tell you to change. You know what I mean?
Yeah, actually, you cannot tell me that you have to change. But again, I believe that people can be changed. It's only that we have to put them in the right, you can say, environment and give them the right direction. Because whoever is giving you any negative or positive feedback or opinion, he might have a reason. So if we ask him a simple question by asking, why you think is it like this?
Yeah.
Now, once he will come out or come up with his point of view, automatically then the discussion will take place and things can be either agreed on or built on, or thinking for something can have a different direction.
That's very true. Thank you so much, Abdulaziz, for your contribution.
Thank you, and have a good day. And we can say that let us go for the new day and new moment with the happiness, with a positive mind. Beautifully
said. Thank you so much, Abdulaziz.
Thank you.
مع السلامة. So that was an insight from Abdulaziz. Thank you so much for sharing. As a reminder that this is a live program on Oman FM. This is Love Your Life with Mayya Al Said, also known as the Sewist. So continuing on, as I was saying before the call, that negative people tend to blame others for their mistakes, and rarely do they admit that it is their fault. However, when we come to think of a positive person takes responsibility for their mistakes and are willing to take the blame. There I go again. Negative people don't apologize because they see it, subhanAllah, as a weakness. They feel, no, if I admit that I'm wrong, then I am weak. And I think that's such a negative way of thinking. But hey, coming from somebody who's negative, what can you expect? A positive person is accountable and willing to admit they are wrong, because that's what we're supposed to do. I mean, we are all humans. At some point in our life, we will make a mistake. And I always say that it's fine, because to me, mistakes are part of learning, that we are trying. So we shouldn't see it as a negative light. Negative people want to see others fail. Now this, I'm sure many of you can relate. You know, they tend to get jealous of other people's success. SubhanAllah, I don't know what it is in them that they feel that, no, how can he be successful? This is, you know, and it's, maybe they'll say, or they got it easy because he's somebody's son, or they don't see, no, that this person really worked hard for it. They always trying to find the negative in somebody's success, as opposed to somebody who is positive. They're sincerely happy for seeing somebody succeed. And that is how we are all supposed to be. We're all in this together, subhanAllah. So why don't we support each other and be happy for each other's successes? Lastly, a negative person thinks they know everything, subhanAllah. And learning something new, again, seems to be another sign of weakness, because to them, they know everything and they're the expert in every subject. However, when we come to talk about somebody who is positive, they're always willing to learn. And as we know, knowledge is power. So I just gave you some traits on negative people on your show, Love Your Life. We shall take a short break and come back, inshallah, in a moment. Don't go anywhere. Love Your Life.
Love your life.
The Messenger of Allah, peace be upon him, said, "Whoever provides the food for a fasting person to break his fast with, then for his is the same reward as is the fasting person's, without anything being diminished from the reward of the fasting person." The Oman Charitable Organization has the pleasure of announcing the start of this year's Ramadan Iftar Meal Program, and we kindly seek your participation for the sake of needy families in Oman during this holy month. All are requested to join in such a humanitarian and benevolent cause by sending a donation through account number National Bank of Oman 104 933 779 8001, Bank Dhofar 0104 0609 09 0001. SMS messages with a cost of 500 basis. Oman Tel 90022, Ooredoo 90909. Donations portal for charitable organization www.onlinedonations.org.om. The office building is at Al Quair 33 area, street number 47, side Sultan bin Said bin Taimur Mosque. The branches are in Salala at Al Sada, Sur, Al Murtafa, Sohar, Al Hambar. For more information, you can call 2429 7996 or 2429 7993. The Charitable Iftar Program from Oman Charitable Organization.
Love Your Life.
Love your life.
Love Your Life, a show like no other. one that aims to inspire you to live a life you love. Choosing to be positive and having a grateful attitude is going to determine how you're going to live your life.
Love yourself.
Love yourself.
Love your day.
Love your day.
Love your life.
Love your life.
Love your life.
Love Your Life, prepared and presented by Sayyida Mayya Al Said.
Love your life.
Welcome back to Your Nation Station. If you've just joined us, this is Love Your Life. This is Mayya Al Said, your host, also known as the Sewist on social media. Today we're discussing dealing with negativity, and I started off the show talking about the negative people and their traits, and it is, how essential it is to know how we can tell that somebody is negative. Just a reminder that this is a live show. You're more than welcome to call me and share with me your ideas on 24 60 20 58, 24 60 20 58. May I remind you that only call me when it is safe to do so. I don't want you risking your life or the life of others around you. So, I think we have a caller. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum. How are you, sister?
Wa alaikum salam wa barakatuh. I am fine. How are you?
All well, sister, and wish you a very happy Ramadan Kareem.
Thank you. Same to you.
Well, sister, I've just joined your program for today.
Yes.
And I had something in mind I thought, I would share with you.
Please do.
When you say, when we're talking about negativity and negative people, I don't know if you've covered this earlier in your show, because I've been just listening for the past 15 minutes.
Okay.
But, now we're living in a world which is very communicative, through artificial intelligence.
All right.
And we have so many apps and, web pages and portals that we communicate through. And, we all have mobile phones and WhatsApps and everything.
Yes.
And, for like example, I have so many groups and I have so many people in those groups and different groups. And, people from all walk of life and, from all countries. And you get numerous messages, on daily basis, on random messages.
Okay.
And, you check out those messages and then you forward to other groups.
Yes.
So, recently I've realized there was an incident which happened here.
Okay.
In Oman. And, then I had it forwarded to other people as well. But later on we got to know it was some kind of a hoax. Yeah, then I realized, we get so many messages and everything regarding Deen, Dunya, some diseases, informative. Then I realized, how many that I forward are really true. Are really informative, And I think, all I was doing was just, forwarding messages. And some of them would just, give you negative vibes.
True.
Would give information which is not correct. And that, I think so. Then I made a conscious effort, to look at the messages, analyze if it is correct, incorrect. And, I then tried being a part where these negative messages had to stop.
Yes, we have to be mindful of what we put out there. And
so I guess, if each and every of us is mindful, of having a look at the message and then deciding, does it spread negativity?
Or positivity?
Does it spread gossip? We need to stop there and not forward this negativity, further ahead.
Yes, true.
So I think this is one point wherein we as individuals could take the responsibility of not doing it as well.
True. Thank you so much. That is, thank you so much for sharing that story with us. And it is true. It is our responsibility. It is our choice what to send to others around us, and that we should promote positivity as much as we can. Thank you so much for your contribution. Oh, we have another caller. Salam alaikum. Salam alaikum.
Hello.
Hello, salam alaikum, brother. Can you please just reduce the volume of the radio so I can hear you clearly, because there's kind of an echo at the moment.
Yeah, thank you for allowing me to join this conversation.
You're most welcome. Thank you for joining me. So tell me, what is your name?
I was just listening to a few of the spokespeople.
Okay.
And I would like to add a few more points.
All right.
I'm working here in the Applied Science College from Sohar.
Okay.
And I find that, the negative people around me, like, for example, students and other people, they have less focus in their life,
Okay.
Yeah, that means, let me put an example. If I give you a 1 feet wide plank and ask you to walk over the plank, which is on the ground, they will readily say that I can do that. But if I put that plank across 2 buildings and ask them to cross over the plank, they will think twice.
True.
So the meaning is they have less focus on that, on such an event. The same thing is happening when in life also.
Mm-hmm.
Life also. So focus in the life is more important to concentrate on good things and positive things.
That's very true. So what you're trying to say is negative people tend to maybe have a lot of time on their hands, so that's why they tend to focus maybe on being
one
negative.
More thing is,
yes,
you
please.
will find that people who are negative, they are impatient. They are not ready to listen to anyone else. A good positive thinker is a good listener too.
True. I would 100% agree.
Yeah.
That's so true.
So if you are a good listener, analyze the problem and try to absorb only the positive ideas and impart only the positive ideas.
Mm-hmm.
I feel the people around you will get those positive energy, and definitely you will be improved. You will get improved a lot.
Most definitely. I think positive people enjoy being around them because they radiate this positivity, this happiness. But when you're negative, I don't think they're very popular.
Yeah, exactly. So for this time of Ramadan, my message is that for the children and students of Oman, that to enrich your focus in life.
MashaAllah.
Keep on more specific to life. Think about only the positive areas in life, so that you will be discarded away from all negative things.
MashaAllah. Thank you so much for wishing us this, and we wish you the same. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
So we are talking about dealing with negativity. Now, I've been focusing on dealing with negative people. However, I will talk about how also to deal with negative thoughts. Just a reminder that you can join in the discussion, as I've had, alhamdulillah, callers who contribute and share some insight onto this topic, and you can do so by calling 2460 2058, 2460 2058. I am here until 3:30, and this show is repeated at 10 past midnight on Oman FM. And also, if you would like to listen into the past episodes that we have had, you can do so on my YouTube channel, The Sewist. And we have a caller. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
How are you, sister?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
Alhamdulillah. Thank you for joining. So you've been listening in, I assume?
Thanks a lot. I've been listening to your show every day almost. Going back.
Thank you so much for being so supportive.
Yeah, thank you so much for having actually this kind of very big topics and very important topics for our people actually.
Thank you. I think, what I hope people think of this show as we talk about things that matter. I think many of us like to talk about general stuff, but nobody's really voicing these kind of things because these are issues that we are faced every day, different, times of our life. So I'm so glad that you think that of this show.
Yeah. These are very small things that they don't notice,
yes,
but it actually affects everything in our life. So yeah.
True. So what is your contribution for today?
Actually, I just wanted to say that in each of us, I do believe that we are having negative thoughts as well as positive thoughts. That no matter how much you try to be like a full or 100% positive person, you still have that part of you, which is having this kind of negativity. Because if you think it's your job to work on it and to just enrich the positivity in yourself in order to make it be above everything.
That's true.
So it happens so many times that whenever we are facing any situation, we cannot say that negative people are negative and they will remain negative because it is something that they work in. So if they are in any situation, whenever you think of something, normally as a human, I feel like the negative thought will come first.
True.
So it is your job to stop a little bit and think about it before saying something that will make your ideas and whatever you say is all negative. You might believe that the negative thought that you're having is the true one, but still saying something positive will, by time, make you also change your mind.
True, and that's what I'm trying as well through this episode and through the show, to say that you always have a choice. Yes, as you well said, Put, we might have this negative thought come, but then it's up to us to choose, oh, hang on a minute, why is it negative? You have to question, and this is something as well that I'll be moving on, inshallah, in the next couple of minutes to discuss how to deal with negative people and the thoughts that we have. And thank you so much for your call. All right, another one. Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. Good afternoon, Sister Mayya.
Good afternoon, Mr. Mukhtar.
Yeah, I'm Mukhtar.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Alhamdulillah. So tell me, Mr. Mukhtar, what is your feedback for us for today on negativity, how to deal with it?
Yeah, first of all, I'll say that you chose a very nice subject, because without dealing with negativity, it is hardly to love your life.
That's true.
Yeah, so I would like to add 3 or 4 points if you have time.
Okay, as long as you make them quick.
Yeah. Firstly, I would like to say that, first of all, in order to deal with negativity, we need to ask ourselves that the sources of negative thoughts, that from where the negative thinking they are coming, if there are a bunch of negative people we are around with them, or there are some negative wishes that we are breeding in our minds.
Yes.
For example, if I'm a greedy person and I want to collect more money, this would lead me towards negative thinking.
True.
Yeah. And secondly, we need to think that is this our habit to think negatively? That maybe in the past we had some incident, after that we started thinking negatively. And with the passage of time, 5, 6, 10 years, and it's been our habit to think negatively.
Okay.
Yeah. And thirdly, I think the people who don't know how to manage stress, they actually think negatively.
Subhanallah, that's so true.
Yeah. For example, if negative people, they got sick with a simple illness of fever, they might think that I might die with this fever.
Yeah.
Because they don't have the psychological skill to deal with stress.
And because it's their norm of always seeing the negativity as like the focus of who they are. So they don't know any better. And it tends to just, become negative after negative after negative. Sadly, they don't see the gratefulness around them, which is really sad. But hopefully, but another thing I want to say is a negative person doesn't always mean that he is a negative. It's just the way he thinks. And I believe that,
exactly, you're right.
By being conscious about it, they can change the way they think, but they have to want to change.
Yeah, exactly. And actually there are some thinking tools actually most of time we are not aware of. Thinking is not only a process, it is a full-time task.
Yes, it is.
And there are thinking tools, we can use them to think positively.
Oh, I didn't know about that. That's very interesting. I'll definitely
share.
Yeah,
actually I had been through some of the Western author, like there is one, its name is De Bono.
Okay.
If you have heard of him.
I think I came across one of his books at Borders.
Yeah. See, he gives you an excellent tools to think positively. There is another one, John C. Maxwell.
MashaAllah, you're very informative. I really love having you on the show, Dr. Mukhtar.
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah.
Finally, just my final comment is also a message. It's like it's like that as we love our houses and our homes, and we don't allow any garbage or any dust to stay inside them.
Yes.
And similarly, we should take our minds as our houses, and we should not allow any dust or garbage of negative thinking to reside inside
Subhanallah.
them. When we will start loving our mind, then it will be easy to think positively.
Thank you so much, Mukhtar, for always being so informative and for adding your flavor to the show. Very much appreciated.
Thank you very much for having me on your show, and God bless you.
Same to you. Thank you very much.
Okay. Ma'as-salam.
Allah yasalmak. And with that, we'll take a short break and we'll come back in a second, inshallah.
Love your life.
Love your life.
Oman is a country full of treasures, from its people to its history, beaches to its mountains, deserts to its wadis. Show off your knowledge of this great country and win cash prizes. with Talal this Ramadan on weeknights and Hafid every weekend from 10 p.m. to midnight. You can be a winner on Treasure Wadi.
Treasure Wadi.
Now, let the party begin.
Win cash prizes and surprises here on the Nation Station.
Love Your Life.
Love your life.
Love Your Life, a show like no other, one that aims to inspire you to live a life you love. Choosing to be positive and having a grateful attitude is going to determine how you're going to live your life.
Love yourself.
Love yourself.
Love your day.
Love your day.
Love your life.
Love your life.
Love your life.
Love Your Life, prepared and presented by Sayyida Mayya Al Said.
Love your life.
Welcome back to Your Nation Station. This is Mayya Al Said, your host for the program Love Your Life. Today we're discussing dealing with negativity. Just a reminder that this is a live show, which I'm super excited about because I get to hear from you. So please call me on 2460 2058, 2460 2058, and I have my man here, Frank, helping me out today. So he's more than welcome. You're more than welcome to call in and he'll transfer the call over. Just a reminder, as always, please only call me when it is safe to do so. I don't want you risking your life or the life of others around you. So we've talked about so far negativity as in negative people, and now I'm just going to give you some points that I have on how to deal with them. I would like to say ignore, like just, okay, you had this, there's a negative person, just ignore, walk away, delete them from your life. But, we have to be realistic that sometimes people, these negative people are family members, so it's not so easy to ignore them, but we can find ways on how to deal with them. First of all, we have to be aware that somebody is negative and that it's really not about you. It's about them. It's about the way they think. So you have to not take things personally. And as they say, take it with a grain of salt. Don't make a big issue out of it. And because it's the way they think. And maybe it's about a subject or person or whatever it is, but it shouldn't affect you. Yes, it does hurt when, a family member is sending off these negative vibes, but there's not much you can do. As a caller said, we can try and change their view on things and just to give them another side of the coin. But sometimes they can be very stubborn as well, so they don't really want to hear anything because, as I said earlier, they tend to want to feel like they're the expert and they know it all. So you just have to hang in there. And something else, negative people, you have to take what you want from them and leave the rest. As I said, take it with a grain of salt. But also consider maybe what they're saying has some truth. So don't just simply ignore, and because he's being so negative or she's being so negative, just reflect and say, okay, maybe they do have a point. Because sometimes these having such opposition of topics or discussions gives you another insight. So if you're a positive person, and I hope you all are, you tend to see the good in every bad. So even if this person is out there being, very negative, you can see, okay, how can I apply this? Is he making sense? And you just, go from there. One of my favorites, although I have to be very bold if I decide to do this, is smile. When they're just talking and going all negative, all you do is smile and remain completely detached. Even saying this, I feel I can just imagine the scenario. This person in front of me is going blah 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 blah, being all negative, and I'm just there smiling. Is he probably thinking if he's really negative, he's going to say, "Why are you smiling?" So, but it is a way to deal with them, because you know what? Negative people feed off reaction. So they'll say something negative and then they expect you to go, yeah, but and you start reacting to their negativity and they think, oh, I like this, and then they start being even more negative. So smiling just makes them think, okay, this person is clearly not listening or not taking on board what I'm saying. Join in on the discussion today. This is dealing with negativity, kind of talking now about how to deal with negative people. You can do so by calling 24 60 20 58, 24 60 20 58. Another thing that you can do is be upfront. If they start talking about something negative, you go and tell them, all right, you've told me the negative side. Now please tell me the positive side. I'm sure they'll be completely shocked or surprised because they're not expecting you to say that. But you know, the thing is, sometimes these negative minds don't know that they're being negative just because it's who they are. So they don't realize that they're, having these negative vibes. So when you actually pop that question, it makes them think, okay, hold on. Oh, have I been negative this whole time? So then it again shows them a different perspective and maybe, changes the way they think. And just by asking them, now that you've told me the negative, what about the positive? And as I said before, it's not you that's the problem. It's them. And we have a caller. Assalamu alaikum. How are you, brother? I can't seem to hear you very well. Hello? Yeah. Yes, I think it's better. Hello? Or maybe not. Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, you're live on air. This is Love Your Life, and this is Mayya Al Said.
Yeah, Muhyiddin calling from Masr.
Pardon?
Muhyiddin calling from Masr.
Muhyiddin, thank you so much for joining in. Have you been listening to the show?
Yes, I'm thinking about this negative matter. Actually, first of all, I think this chapter is wrong. There is no negative in the world. Actually, it's like we are calling in the dark. Actually, we are calling in the bright. And then actually the name is, there is no bright. It's called dark. Actually, it's not a dark. It's a no bright. Like this, it is the world, almost, not almost, 100% having only positive vibration only. There is no meaning in the negative. Negative means there is no positive. It's not a meaning negative. It's a negative, it's some geographically wording only we are using. The electricity itself we are using positive, negative. It's not a meaning negative. It's what I'm thinking, say to the people, there is 100% people in the world, they have the only positive vibration only.
Right.
Even though the negative people, they have their own view. That itself is their own view, it's a positive view only. So our side only we are saying is the negative.
Okay.
There is no negative in the world. First of all, the people are thinking something available in the negative means the people itself, they are negative.
Thank you so much for your contribution.
Recognize the negative.
Thank you so much for your contribution. We have another call. Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah.
This is Ilyas.
Pardon?
This is Ilyas.
Hello, Ilyas. How are you?
I'm good, sister. How are you?
Alhamdulillah. Have you been listening into the show? Today we're talking about dealing with negativity. What are your thoughts?
My thought is actually negativity is coming from where actually? It's coming, my thinking, family, society, and as well as country. For example, negativity, why we are creating or we are listening. Okay? From the family, what we are learning or what we are teaching to our family members or children. Okay,
Mr. Ilyas, I'm sorry. I will have to end the conversation because I can't really hear you clearly. So if you don't mind, if you can try just calling in again. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum. No other call? Oh, okay. Got that wrong. So thank you very much for people who are contributing to this topic of dealing with negativity. Some have different insights as to what I'm saying, and it is fine. We all have different ways of thinking. That's what makes us unique. Just a reminder that this is Love Your Life with your host, Mayya Al Said, also known as the Sewist. And today we're discussing negativity because we are surrounded by it and we have to know how to deal with it. We're surrounded by negative people. And I'm just going through some of the things that we can do while we deal with negative people. And you can join me in discussing this by calling 2460 2058, 2460 2058. Just a reminder that this show is until 3:30, so I have approximately 20 minutes left. And it is repeated at 10 past midnight on Oman FM. But also you can, if you've missed the show, you can log into my YouTube channel, The Sewist, and inshallah you shall find it there. And just before the last caller came in, I was saying that one of the ways as well for you to deal with somebody who's negative, as I said, it is them that's the problem. It's not really you. You are not responsible for how this person feels. It is up to them to try and change their mind on a certain topic. Don't try to fix them, because the choice is them. Even if you say whatever you want to say, you give your view, they might still remain to be negative. And it is up to them. It is their life. You do the best you can. At least you try. Because remember, it is their choice. One thing that I'd like to share with you, upon doing my research for this show, I came across the Take the Garbage Truck pledge. I don't know if you guys have heard of this. Now, this is a guy called David J. Pole, who is the author of the law of the garbage truck. And just before I tell you the pledge, we have a caller. Assalamu alaikum. Maybe not. Okay. So taking the garbage pledge truck. So it says, many people are like garbage trucks. They run around full of garbage, full of frustration, full of anger, and full of disappointment. As their garbage piles up, they look for a place to dump it. And if you let them, they'll dump it on you. So when someone wants to dump on you, don't take it personally. Just smile, wave, and wish them well, and move on. Believe me, you'll be happier. And I think that's so true. I remember seeing a video of a guy going on in a taxi cab, and then suddenly I think there's an accident happens, and then the guy that is being hit comes out all upset. Why did you hit me in my car? And then the guy who's the passenger just waves, smiles, and wishes them well. And the taxi driver is like, what's happening here? So he tells him about this garbage truck pledge. But look him up. Apparently he has a book called The Law of the Garbage Truck. This should be interesting, and who knows, it'll help us deal with the negativity in our lives. And just with that, we'll take a short break and come back to you in a bit. Love your life.
Love your life.
This Ramadan, get inspired to be healthy and get all your health questions cleared with Dr. Ali Alawati on radio, Sultanate of Oman, from 4 o'clock to 5 p.m. Join us on Health Talk. Ramadan Mubarak.
Love your life.
Love your life.
Love your life. A show like no other. One that aims to inspire you to live a life you love. Choosing to be positive and having a grateful attitude is going to determine how you're going to live your life.
Love yourself.
Love yourself.
Love your day.
Love your day.
Love your life.
Love your life.
Love your life.
Love Your Life, prepared and presented by Sayyida Mayya Al Said.
Love your life.
Welcome back. This is Mayya Al Said on your show Love Your Life on Oman FM. So today we're talking about dealing with negativity. I've talked about the negative traits of people, how to deal with them. Many of you have been calling me in. Just a reminder, this is a live show. You're more than welcome to join me. I'd love to hear from you. Please do so by calling 2460 2058, 2460 2058, and my man Frank there will gladly transfer the calls. Just a reminder that only call me when it is safe to do so. Do not risk your life and the life of others around you. And we have a caller. Assalamu alaikum.
Hello.
Hi. Would you mind just reducing the volume of the radio, please? Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. How are you?
I'm good, alhamdulillah. Sayyida Mayya, it's a very good show you're doing here online, and I like the topics which you discuss.
Thank you so much. So what are your thoughts today on dealing with negativity?
Yes, I wanted to talk about negativity, is that it's only within us, and we can control it. It depends on us how we handle it.
True.
It's something we can just, dust it off. It's like whenever you are dirty, you take a bath, or whenever your car is dirty, you clean it, and it's off.
Yes.
It's the same thing is with negativity. That's what I feel.
But if only it was that easy, just as you gave the example, if we're dirty, we just clean. But we're talking about the mind. So the mind kind of functions a bit differently. But as long as you're aware of your thoughts, and you have to try and change them.
That's true. And what I'm trying to say is that we have the strength, and Alhamdulillah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us that strength within us that we can compete and overcome these hurdles like negativity, and we should keep praying and fight against these things like negativity. And I think we are strong enough to overcome things like negativity. And one thing which helps in doing this is by getting surrounded by people which are positive, like your friend circle or your family,
Yes.
and surround yourself with people who are in a positive, who have a positive attitude. That's what I feel.
Thank you very much for sharing with us today.
Thank you very much, and have a good day.
You too. So right, when we do have the choice, and okay, I thought Frank was saying we have another caller. So we do have the choice, but as the last caller said, I wish it were that easy to just, oh, I'm dirty with my negative thoughts. Let me go have a shower. Ooh, I'm positive again. Sadly, it isn't that easy. But let us talk about negative thoughts. How does it start? Is it, it can be a thought or feeling, or maybe a sentence spoken by somebody else. And subhanAllah, it just starts to drag you down. It affects you. So how do you deal with them? First thing is to think, if you start, focusing on what is being said, you'll start feeling sorry for yourself, especially if it was something personal. And then you might start off saying, okay, you start feeling sorry for yourself, then it goes even deeper. What's the point? And then you go even deeper. Why should I even try? So it just goes deeper and deeper, and you sink into this negative hole. And subhanAllah, if you leave it, it can really be toxic. And not only will it only change the way you think, but also your life. Suddenly, the life that you once knew does not exist because you've allowed yourself, not consciously, to just be in this hole of negativity and leave out all this depression to others. And that is really not something that you want to be. And some people need help. And that's why we have mental health counselors. And that's why it is so important. But, always the people around them need to know that what they're going through, because they're not going to agree. So you need to speak up, and they need to get help that they need. So now I'm going to share tips on how to prevent getting your negative thoughts. Just a reminder that you're more than welcome to join me and share with me your thoughts on negativity by calling 2460 2058, 2460 2058, and I have about 10 minutes. This is Love Your Life on Oman FM. So here are some tips, as I said before, on how we can prevent maybe these thoughts and how we can deal with them. So the first thing is, when you get something, a negative thought, think, what was it good? Is it helpful? How did I learn? See the possible positive in it. Don't only think of the negative. Try and just see the positive in it. So even this happens, what did I learn from it? Okay, and how can I deal with it from now on? Remind yourself that you really don't have to care about what did I write here? Now I can't read my own handwriting. It happens to me sometimes. Okay, how about you question it? Should I take this seriously? Because when you get a positive, me and my positive, I'm so positive, all I focus is on positivity. So this show is very challenging for me to do because it's all about negativity. So we need to question this negative thought. One mistake or something that is bad doesn't define and it doesn't last your whole life. It's just one thing. And as I always say, mistakes are there to teach us, not to define us. Replace the negativity in your surrounding. If you're surrounded by people who are negative or a negative situation, just try and move away. Not to say to ignore, but just try and do something that you enjoy. Read a book, an inspiring book. Go out with friends. Go walk out on the beach. Just change, just move, just get away from whatever is bringing you down. Stop making mountains of molehills. So stop making such a small thing, make it like a really big thing, and it just encapsulates you, and it's really that small. Stop thinking that this small thing is everything. It isn't. It's just a teeny weeny thing. And sadly, some negative people tend to do that. So you have to try and change that mindset. And even ask yourself, will it matter? Excuse me, I'm having a throat issue here. So ask yourself. Still there. Okay, much better. So ask yourself, will it matter in 5 years? Or even 5 weeks? So why are you making it such a big deal? And another thing that you can do is something, this is one of my favorites, and I've tried this, and I tell you, this works. Work out. Get involved in some physical activity, because as you know, not only working out is good physically for your body, but it's also a stress reliever, a tension reliever. It clears the mind and also releases happy endorphins, which is the happy hormones that make you feel, this feels good. And this is something I always feel before a workout. I think of so many reasons why I won't work out. And as soon as I'm done with the workout, I thought, wow, that was good. And I feel motivated and I feel happy. So I would highly recommend that. Just a reminder that this is Love Your Life with Mayya Al Said. Today we're talking about negativity, and I'd really love to know your thoughts on this. And you can do so by calling me on 2460 2058, 2460 2058. We're now talking about how you can deal with negative thoughts, how to change your mindset when you get a negative thought. So one of the things as well that you can do is make someone happy. Isn't that nice? Be kind, help somebody. Just be there for them, even if you can't do anything, just to know that somebody has somebody to talk to. Just make them feel valued. And in turn, you will not only make them happy, but it will make you happier for having helped somebody. That cycle? So try and do that. And just always have this mindset that whatever happens is always temporary. No matter even this thought, try and think, okay, this is just a thought. How am I going to deal with this thought? Is this thought really the highlight of my life? Is it going to define me? Am I going to allow it to let me define me? And I don't think we should. It's although some people say negativity is not really a thing, it is a thing. And we just have to know how to deal with it. And we have a caller. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam, Sayyida Mayya. This is Abu Saif Al speaking.
Abu Saif, thank you so much for your call. Have you been listening in?
Yes, I have tuned in on and off because I was coming back from office.
All right. Thank you so much for sharing your time with us. What are your thoughts on dealing with negativity?
Yes, I have some thoughts basically on this. The first thing comes to my mind is the environment that you are living in or you've been raised within.
Mm-hmm.
That can have an impact on the way you think, on the way you handle these negativity thoughts and so on.
Mm-hmm.
But having said that, you can still, of course, take proactive steps towards kind of counter this kind of feeling.
Yeah.
And I tend to agree with one lady who called earlier. She said that no matter how hard you try to get rid of this negativity, it will keep on coming back, now and then. So the question is just it's a matter of how to keep it, to maintain this, the positive impact on, or to give more weight on this positive compared to the negativity, and try to get rid of it basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. Additionally, I wanted to say a few things as well, but you almost nailed it with
with most of the things that I wanted to say in your last comments just a couple of minutes back.
Okay.
Just to add on that, you mentioned things to do with try to get away of this situation or try politely to get away from these people.
Yeah.
And do something different.
Yeah.
Go out and chill with other things, do other things basically. Additionally, for example, do exercise because that is sort of de-stressing, and de-stressing by itself is kind of it's a calm relief, or it's a calm it's a calm feeling, so that you'll automatically feel good about yourself and hopefully positive.
Thank you so much. Oh, is there something else?
Additionally,
Sorry.
I have one thing that really works out even with me, plus the things that you mentioned just now, is when you wake up in the morning, first thing in the morning, you do, for example, for us Muslims, we do prayer in the morning, Fajr prayers.
Yes.
And I tend to feel this myself. If I do pray Fajr, for example, especially I pray Jama'ah at the masjid, and my day will be different, will be so full of positivity and so kind of with positive energy.
Mashallah,
and vice
because you
versa
started
when I don't do that.
Yeah, subhanallah.
So I think it's, doing for us, we're lucky, we're Muslims, we do pray before dawn.
Yeah.
But for example, for non-Muslims, they can even, because I've read in few occasions, in few places also, there's like this positive energy which is there before dawn. And when you kind of expose yourself to this energy by doing exercises, by kind of meditation, yoga, or whatever it is,
yes,
it tends to have a positive, really positive energy impact on you. So the remaining of the day will be kind of fulfilling and happy, inshallah.
Inshallah. It's all about listening to what makes you happy. And this is, I think I talked about it earlier in my program. Once you tune into what makes you happy, then when you get through these negative emotions, you have to know how to counteract those negative feelings. So it's really important to know yourself and what you love to do.
Indeed, yeah. And what you love to do, or what you enjoy much to do, yeah?
Sure. Thank you so much, Abu Saif, for your contribution on Love Your Life.
You are welcome. You're welcome. Thank you very much for enlightening our day with another positive message.
Thank you very much. You're most welcome.
Have a lovely day.
You
Thank
too.
You. Bye.
So we just have a couple of minutes left, and as always, I like to end every episode as much as I can with quotes, because I always get inspired. And even if you follow me on Instagram, I share lots of quotes because I feel it's such a beautiful way to share a message, and many people can relate to. So the ones I have for today's show is: some people can't function without negativity because bringing down others makes them feel better. And this goes back to me talking about how they feed off, and it's always about them, not about others. One is: I am thankful for those difficult people in my life. They have shown me exactly who I don't want to be. I love this one because me being the positive that I am, I like to see the positive in every negative. So even these negative people, I see positivity in that because it shows me I don't want to be this person. And one that I have as well is: negative people need drama. They need it they like it because it's like oxygen to them. So stay positive and take their breath away. And I'd love to end with that note. Thank you so much for joining me, for taking the time to listen to me. Wherever you are in the world, thank you for calling and sharing your thoughts. I'm not on tomorrow, but I am on, inshallah, on Saturday, and we'll be talking about how to sustain happiness. Just a reminder, this show ends now, but it will be repeated at 10 past midnight, and also it will be available on my YouTube channel, The Sewist. From Frank and myself, we're wishing you a lovely day. Please keep us in your du'as. Ma'a salama. Love Your Life. Love Your Life, a show like no other, one that aims to inspire you to live a life you love. Choosing to be positive and having a grateful attitude is going to determine how you're going to live your life.
Love yourself.
Love yourself.
Love your day.
Love your day.
Love your life.
Love your life.
Love your life.
Love Your Life, prepared and presented by Sayyida Mayya Al Said.
Love your life.